Hi there, my name's Victoria and I'm a watercolor artist in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. And today we're at Jupiter Beach, where I find a lot of inspiration for my watercolor art and designs. Stay tuned for my two-part series on how I paint watercolor seascapes. So today we're going to be practicing a wet on wet technique, and I start by laying down a clean wash of water, and I'm going to focus on the top half of my paper first. This is going to be our sky. And I want to make sure that I have a nice clean line of water at the horizon. Now I'm going to add some turquoise blue while my paper is still wet. And this will ensure that we have a nice, even, clear blue sky. I'm making the top part of my page a darker blue, and then as I get closer to the horizon, I'm using more of a diluted blue. I'm using a paper towel just wrapped around my finger. I'm going to dab away some of the color to make a cloud. And I'm going to add a little bit more turquoise blue to it. And this helps to give my cloud dimension. And then I blend it a little bit with the water. Make my cloud a little bit puffy. Just remove a little bit more of the pigment in the darker area. Now I'm testing to make sure that my paper is dry, because I'm going to add a clean layer of water to the bottom of my page. And this will serve as my ocean. I want to make sure that my top half is dry when I do this. This way my color won't bleed into the sky. Next, I'm going to add a light wash of turquoise for my ocean, in the same way that I added the pigment to my sky. And then adding a little bit more of a darker stroke to resemble the ripples of the water. And you want to make sure that your paper is still wet when you're doing this. This way you get these nice kind of ocean-like ripples. Now the techniques that I'm showing you here, we're going to use in next week's video tutorial where I show you how I added a sailboat to my seascape. I'll leave a link at the end of this video so that you can explore it. Now using my rigger brush, I'm adding a stroke to resemble some land or rocks off to the side. My lower half of my paper is now completely dry, so I'm going to add just a line of a wash of clean water and then drop in a little bit of blue pigment. And this will help give me a harder edge of a line, closely resembling that of the water and movement in the ocean. Today the ocean is somewhat calm, so we don't really have any waves crashing. Just a little bit of a ripple effect. And I want to just lightly add in pigment closer to the horizon. I don't want to have too much detail here. And then I'm just adding some Payne's gray here to the horizon just underneath my land. The bottom half of my paper underneath the Payne's gray is dry. That's why you get a pretty solid line, and the top part is wet. That's why the color is bleeding. And if you would like to support my small business, please visit me at Do Tell a Belle on Etsy and the Zazzle Marketplace. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more weekly watercolor tutorials. Your support helps me bring more creative projects like this one to life. Happy painting and see you next time.